everyone. This is long overdue. I do apologize. I wanted to recover. I was on my period, the weather, everything of that nature of life. I did talk about it in the community post on Talk to Me Sisters YouTube page. I'm still trying to figure out the Instagram situation. If you guys have any suggestions on the altercation app, like how to restart it or delete everything and then restart again or refresh or whatever, please let me know because I am struggling with it. So, I'm gonna try to look at some more YouTube videos on how to fix it or whatever. I was trying to deal with it over the weekend, but it's just no luck. So I'm not ignoring you guys on Instagram or anything. I am very active on Facebook and I'm somewhat active on my Lincoln page. So bear with me, bear with me. But I did talk about this on the community post, so there you go. But I will still keep you guys posted on the Instagram situation that I am dealing with right now. I am not ignoring you guys. I promise you I'm not. I'm just dealing with the allocation situation. Ever since I was switching phones and phone numbers, and then everything was going well with the application app from Google, and then it just went downhill. So I'm trying to figure it out, how to recover and try to get things back on track again, but I'll keep you posted. So yes, it is going on a month since post-surgery, and it was fantastic. I love the team. My OBGYN, who was also my surgeon, and his assistant and everything was just amazing. The nurses were amazing. I didn't feel nervous. I was very, very excited. And I wasn't anxious or anything. Obviously, a week before my surgery, I was like, damn, my period's gonna come on. I don't want to be on my period. I had to really research to make sure that you can get surgery on your period. Otherwise, I didn't want to start over. I didn't want to reschedule. It was just too much. I spent months, okay, let me tell you, months trying to get this surgery up and running, going with the flow, all that jazz. But through the grace of God, everything worked out and I was exhausted. So for those ladies out there, when you're on your cycle, you tend to lose a lot of energy. And that's what happened to me. I had to wake up at the crack of dawn. I didn't have a lot of energy. It was on my early cycle on top of that. And they kept asking me for a heated blanket. I was like, hell to the no, not right now. I kept denying it. And then soon as I got on the operation table, and then this Asian lady, they're so sweet. They're really, really sweet. And she was like, I'm gonna put this heated blanket on you. I was knocked out. I was done. Didn't even have to put no anesthesia on me at all. I was completely cold, knocked out. Seriously, I couldn't even keep my eyes open. That's much a good of a sleep I had, and they gave me a hotel pillow. You know. If you had a good hotel pillow, you know what I'm talking about. I was not scared. I was not anxious. I had no anxiety. I was so drained and tired. I'm on my cycle. I have no energy. I was knocked out as a lamp. I was out. And then as soon as I woke up, it was done. I was like, damn, we done already? It took 2 seconds. It was so good. And they showed me photos and they taught me the aftercare. It took a few days to kind of start getting the healing process going, for sure. I did have some gas on one of my shoulders, not the other one. Even when I walked out of the hospital, gas started coming out. I kid you not, on the same day. And then maybe a day or two into the weekend, I think I got sick and I had this lower back issue. And then I had one gas in my shoulder. But other than that, it was a quick healing situation as far as the process of it. A part of my body, half of my body tends to have a slowing process, while the other part of my body is very fast. So it's really interesting. But I was more sore than I was in pain. Let's just be real for a second. I was more sore than I was in pain. And like I said, everybody was so sweet. Everybody was so nice. I told them straight up that I was on my period. Do I have to reschedule? I don't want to do all that. And they're like, no, girl, you're fine. And I was like, really? Are you sure? Because I don't want to cause any issues or any blood clots or anything like that. And no, you're good. It's fine. You're fine. I was like, oh, okay. And, I was out as a lamb. I was out as a lamb. Like, I kid you not. And then, like I said, the healing process was pretty good. I was more sore. I did get sick because I was slowly getting back into eating food again. And they do say after researching that you're supposed to eat light. I thought I was invincible. I kid you not. I thought I was invincible, being like, oh, I can eat anything. Oh, I'm good. I don't need no wheelchair. I'm fine. And I'm like, oh shit. Like, oh, this is sore. I'm in pain. But I didn't take any medication. I just stuck to like natural remedies, health, situation like peppermint tea. What else I did? I did the Amazon healing ointments. I did the spray, first aid spray. What else I did? I did the Dr. Teal. So I did all the natural stuff. I didn't focus on medication, anything like that. Now I almost did took medication. I'm not gonna lie. I almost did took the medication they prescribed to me because like the middle part of my belly button was so sore. Like, oh my gosh, it was so hard for me to sleep. I had such a difficult time sleeping, but I was like on my side because I'm a stomach sleeper. I'm a stomach sleeper. But like when I'm like on my side, is a little bit more comfortable. But even with that, your mind is focusing on the middle part that's like the most sore compared to anywhere else. So I didn't have any issue with gas. Like I said, I had no issue with gas. I would do like motion exercises that you do with your arms before you like go play ball or anything. You could do like the arm exercises. I would go up and down the stairs. I didn't do any heavy lifting. Everyone did that for me, which is really sweet. And that was good. That was good. I think it took maybe, when did I start healing completely? I think it took less than a week for like everything to like really calm itself down. Now, I do have pictures when I first like the aftermath, and then like maybe a day or two it starts to slowly, like towards the weekend, like a part of my cut, it starts to heal more faster than the other one. Now, I did do my OBGYN when I went there not that long ago, and he was saying that the other part of my cut is gonna, heal like four weeks, but it's starting to heal really fast. I'm not gonna lie, it's starting to shrink to like a scarring. But other than that, the healing was pretty well. Like I said, it was a little irritating. I was a bit sore. He did ask me that, like, how was the healing process and everything go for you? Did you need any, did you take any medication? Blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I'm good. I mean, yes, I was sore in the middle part, but it took like a few days, less than a week for me to like, get my energy going, starting to feel a little bit more better. But other than that, it's great. I'm happy. I'm glad I made this decision through the grace of God. I did pray on it. People think that I made this decision drastically, like I was hesitating in a sense of I was going fast with it, with this drastic decision. And I was just like, no, I did pray on it. It took me a few months to really talk to God and certain people's advice, like back and forth, the good, the bad, the concerns, the worries, things like that. And, it is what it is. The old school will always say, oh, don't do it, just go on birth control and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to go on birth control. I mean, I understand birth control can help in certain ways for your body, whether it's your acne, your period, to prevent pregnancy to some degree. But at the same time, I don't want to take medication all the way up until like 80 years old on birth control. Like, why would I want to do that? I would just yank the shit out. You know what I'm saying? Call it a day. I was trying to do the traditional route, like the tying up the tubes, and my OBGYN was like, over time, not right away, but like over time is going to come undone. And I don't want that. So we can't have that. And I tried getting other methods and all these things. Like, no, that is, over time is going to come undone or may grow back. And I'm like, nah, I don't want that. Let's just yank this shit out. Now, he did tell me I had a bump or something. I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Some kind of bump. I used to have this bump before near my chest. We thought it was a lump and ended up being an abyss, whatever it's called. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. I do apologize, but I don't know the correct term for it. But if you know, you know, where you have like this bump or like this boil near your heart, that was like under my chest. This happened like 15 years ago, 14 years ago. And I had one on my tubes. So obviously you gotta do what you gotta do. And I understand, I was telling my aunt about this because I had to fill out some paperwork like consent and all these things, and they asked me about my gender and my sexuality, my religion, and all this stuff. And I was just like, I don't care about any of that. Just do what you gotta do and get this tubes out of me. Now my cycle was fine, for the rest of the 6 days of the week. Everything was good. It went off at the exact time it needed to go off. Now, I will keep you guys posted because I'm supposed to be getting my cycle again, but I'm not sure. I did research that it may be a delay or it may not come on at all. And it may take some time because you just had surgery. Your body's trying to figure out what am I supposed to do. And it's going to react no matter what kind of surgery you do. And it may or may not affect your cycle. Everybody bodies are different, but I did research that. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted. It's supposed to come on now, but hasn't come on. It would be great not to have a cycle again. It would be amazing. But the only way for me to like really do that, I mean, it happened to my aunt. I told you guys about this where she kept her ovaries, she just tied her tubes, burned it, cut it, whatever. And she ended up not having a cycle for like a couple days, not a couple days, a couple years later or few years later while she was in her 30s. So it may happen to me. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted on the whole cycle situation of like the changes and everything. I'm hoping I'll get a shorter cycle versus a no cycle. Either way, I'm going to let him know. I'm going to document it and see what changes and what didn't. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. I do have photos of the before and after of the not cycle, the cuts and everything. So the glue instantly came off, I think, over the weekend since I had the surgery on a Tuesday. So yeah, I had some little help. I did. I did some exercises, like I did some walking. I didn't do any like heavy lifting or anything like that. I didn't do any like crazy squats or excessive exercises or any of those things. I just did like the basic exercises like you would when you warm up, like walking and doing shoulder exercises and things like that, putting your feet up so you can prevent blood clots because it's going to take a couple of, not a couple of hours, but I think it takes like 24 to 7, what is it, 24 or something hours before the for the anesthesia to get out of your system. I think it takes more than that, but I had to spend a couple of days getting the anesthesia out of me by putting my feet up so the blood can flow, so I won't get any like blood clots and stuff. I think it takes less than a day or two for the anesthesia to go out. I think it's like 24 hours, something like that, 48 hours for the anesthesia to leave your body. But again, bodies are different. But that's what I researched. That's what I looked up. And I didn't take any crazy medication, any of that stuff. I didn't take any supplements. They do tell you that not take any supplements for a few weeks to make sure you don't get any blood clots or it doesn't affect your healing process, things like that. But other than that, you guys, I had a really good team. I had a really good doctor. They did such an amazing job. They were very sweet. They were very thoughtful. It was great. I love the hospital that I went to. They are a 5.0, and I really enjoyed the process. I'm glad it's finally over. I don't have to worry about pregnancy. I don't have to worry about any oopsie doopsies or any of that stuff. I have a very, 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 very low, 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 low chance of getting pregnant, which is amazing because there's no egg to go to. Because you guys know the biology of a tube and an egg in order to things to grow and process with the sperm and everything. But I don't have to worry about any of that. And my aunt and I had this discussion not that long ago during the surgery, and just like a few months at a time. And, while we were going through this process and the motion, I was telling her that I can't rely on a man to do what he needs to do to make sure that my body and my mental health and my awareness is on point. Never, never rely on a man to do what he needs to do when it comes to his body, to prevent something that would cause you to feel some kind of way, right? And we need to acknowledge that we need to do things on our own as women. It's nothing wrong with having a supportive partner or spouse or family members, friends, the list goes on. But when it comes to your body, do what you got to do for you and not rely on a man. And a lot of people will say, oh, just take birth control, get him to, get snipped and all these things. But I can't trust that. You know what I'm saying? I can't trust a man to do what he needs to do, even if he has a beautiful heart and he's a great person and all these things. Men seem to forget a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And the minute they say, "Oh yeah, I got that done. It's all good." Next thing you know, it's like, "Oh shit, you know what? I did forgot to get that done." You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do it. You guys know how men brains are. Let's be real. I have to do this for me, and I can't trust his word. The only word I trust is God. God is the only man I trust when it comes to any decision, any life challenge, obstacle, you name it. He is the only true God that I trust with anything that I put in his hands, not a man. Okay? Let's be real. So I had to do this on my own. And yes, I did have some cheerleaders like my aunt and my other aunts and everything. And there are other people that were like totally against it, and that's fine. You have your opinion, you have your concerns, your worries, all that jazz. But for me personally, excuse me, I had to do this for my mental health and my actual health. And a lot is going on in the world that I can't contribute to when it comes to my body, my mental health, my insanity, and things like that. I remembered a week before my surgery, I had to get blood work again. And they were like, at first they thought I said baby, but I was saying blood work. And they were like congratulating me. And when they saw the paperwork, they were like, oh, that's what you're getting? I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm getting. And as you guys know, the birth is declining due to what's going on in the world and, financial situations and stuff like that. And they were just so disappointed. So they were really sweet. They played it off, but I can tell they were like heart sank what's going on. And then I had to go to another spot that was being requested for me to get blood work. And then I had to go to another spot that was around the corner from them, but in the same area. So thank the Lord, we didn't have to go other side of town or anything like that. And one of my aunt's girlfriends had to take me. So that was really sweet of her. And I prioritize people's time. So I told her what was going on. She's like, that's fine. I've got, some meetings and stuff on Zoom. It's totally fine. I can go anywhere I want. And I was like, okay, that's great. I just want to furnish your time. And, so I didn't really have to go far to get blood work. I thought the blood work I was getting to wasn't, I thought what I thought, but when I really read the paper, it was like another spot that I had to go to in order to get blood work. So I did that, and then I told him what was going on, and then even the other lady, which is twice already with the same reaction, she was disappointed that I was getting a woman's surgical procedure done. And again, I understand people's concerns and worries and letdowns and like, really? And all this stuff. I understand, but I have to do this for me. I can't do it for anybody else. And like I said, I didn't jump the broom with this decision. You know what I mean? I thought on it, I processed it, I meditated on it, I prayed about it. I was like, Lord, give me a sign. Give me your answer about this certain decision that I am making for my body, for my choice, for my health, my sanity. I was being real with the Lord. I kid you, like I was being real with the Lord. And he gave me a sign. He gave me the 444s. I started seeing red birds. I think I even saw blue jays. And I was just like, thank you, Lord. I appreciate it. So sometimes you have to listen to Christ and your Heavenly Father as a whole and not people saying anti things about it that are like, I'm not trying to say they're uneducated because I was uneducated too when I jumped to conclusions the first time around about this certain procedure instead of like really researching. So I can't 100% blame them. But once I started researching and praying on it and meditating and really putting out not knowledge, but you know what I mean, like to other people about it. And then I even did it with my aunt. And then when she looked into it a little bit more, she's like, oh, that's what you're getting. Okay, I thought you was getting like everything out. Like, no, I'm not getting everything out. I'm just getting the tubes out because I had to research it myself. And then she was like, oh, okay, now I understand. But when you try to tell it to other people, they're in denial. They're like, no, 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 this can't be right. Like, no, this isn't the way, and blah blah blah. So I do have certain people who were very anti about it. And I understand. I understand. But at the same time, at the end of the day, this is my choice and my choice and my decision. And this is what I gotta do for me. I didn't just jump on it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't rush into it. Don't get me wrong, I had some hesitations, but I made sure to pause and I made sure to really think it through and not just jump on it like I would as a teenager or as a young adult. Now that I'm older, it's like, let's be more wiser. Let's really think this through before we start chopping things and opening our bodies and stuff like that. Let's really process this. Let's really do our research. Let's really ask a lot of questions from professionals and certain people in our lives who actually did this procedure or something similar. And that's what I did. My aunt got her procedure done when she was in her 30s, when I was 12 years old. And she didn't get her tooth removed, but she mostly got it like cut and burned and then tied. And then I have another aunt who just got, I think she just got her tubes tied. I don't know if she did the burn or anything like that. Maybe she did. And they were on board with it. They were realistic with me, they were raw with me, but they were also very supportive compared to anyone else. Now, my godmother, she's very supportive too, because she didn't judge me. She didn't anti me or anything like that, like everybody else. I broke it down to her, and she was like, okay, that's fine. You know, it is what it is. Do what you got to do. And I can tell she was a little disappointed, but at the same time, she was very sweet and she was very like, okay, do what you got to do. You're a grown woman, you're an adult. You gave me your resource of why you should get this done and the reason behind it and all these things. We had a conversation. And at first, when I told her I had to get surgery, she thought something was wrong. She thought I got hurt or something. Like, no, 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 no. I'm getting this procedure done for X, Y, and Z. And she was like, okay. She had a little disappointment in her voice, but she was very happy for me. And like I said, I gave tokens to people for Mother's Day who were very on my side, and very supportive, even if they felt a little disappointed, but they were very supportive and very sweet. And I had some great messages from people who were like, oh, I'm so proud of you. I hope you're doing well. I know I was, concerned and against it. And I totally understand why, they made up for it. They apologized. They apologize, quote unquote. But you know how old people can be, how old school can be sometimes. And then when they finally realize, why you really getting it done versus just on the top of your head, they're like, oh, okay, I understand. I understand. So I heal really good. I did get sick for going overboard. I was pushing it with the heavy foods. I did sort of light, but then I got ahead of myself. I think it was anesthesia brain. you know. But yeah, it was really good. I am so happy and blessed that I've gotten this done and I'm in a really, really good place. I really did not want children. I remember telling this to you guys on the last video about purity cultural and problematics of living in a man's world, how men think that this is our duty. This is the only duty that we should have, and you gotta stick to it, blah blah blah. And they started twisting God's words around and all these things according, you know how men are. Men always wanted to be God. It happened for many centuries, many decades. And we all know this. We know this. They all want us to be handmaid's tales and other crap. But at the end of the day, it's like I have to wake up. I have to open my eyes and really ask the question, am I doing this for me about kids, or am I doing this for other people? So I really had to think this through as I was getting older, out of my 20s, out of my teens and everything. I was just like, am I doing this for me, or am I doing this for other people? Am I delusional? Am I very debatable about this? Like, what is going on? So by the time you hit like your 30s, you're like, okay, I get it now. This isn't what I want. Nah, this isn't for me. I'm good. I'm good. I don't like children. I think it was a sign. I'm sorry for the voice crack. My voice, I think I'm a little under the weather, or I woke up and I'm all over the place. I do apologize for the voice crack. I'm so sorry. But but yeah, I think it's allergies. But the point is like you have to think for yourself. And you have to recognize, am I doing this for me? Do I really want this big commitment? Or am I doing this for other people? So you really have to ask these questions and you really have to do your research. And I remember going to grocery stores and I would hear these kids crying and having tantrum fits. And I'm like, yeah, that's a sign. Nope, we're not doing it. Absolutely not. I do want the marriage and I do want to be a wife, but I don't want the extra responsibility. I don't have a village anymore. My mother has passed on. I think it's been 20 something years now since she has passed, and it's getting ready to be Memorial Day, and this is like the anniversary of her passing. And I don't have a village anymore. I don't have my grandparents. I don't have her. I have very limiting people in my life who are on fixed incomes due to retirement and what's going on in the world and their health and everything. And everyone's getting older, and I didn't really get the opportunity to travel as much as I would like to when I was in my 20s to take care of my brother and all these things and having to stay behind and all that. So I really don't want children. I am proud to be an aunt, and I would love to be like a big sister to someone or an advocate for those who don't have a voice. But other than that, I don't want children in my life. I really don't. I'd rather be free. I'd rather maintain my peace and my sanity and my health and my mental health due to anxiety and panic attacks, and I can't bring a child into that kind of spirit. Do you feel me? I've gotten better versus when I was younger with my mental health issues and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's like I can't bring a child into it. I really can't. And I don't have a village and I don't make enough to take care of a child. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. Um, but I'm in such a better place since getting this surgery. I do have photos and everything. I'll definitely share it with you guys on Facebook and Instagram. I'll keep you posted on the whole Instagram situation. I promise you I will. But yeah, I feel great. I don't have to worry about pregnancy. I don't have to worry about relying on a man to do his part because men can change their minds, or they may get remarried and change their minds with another partner, or a future spouse or something, and I don't want to go through that. I really don't. And I'd rather maintain and keep my peace than to have panic attacks and worries about, am I pregnant? I don't want to be pregnant. Now I can't get rid of it, even though I'm in a blue state. And but like I don't want to have those mindsets, and I don't want to picture it. I really don't. Even though this man is trying to push a certain word to more and more states, I just don't want to deal with that. So is rather to handle the problem, fix the problem, handle the problem, and show the solution by getting rid of what can't be undone unless you get IVF. And I ain't trying to get IVF. I'm afraid of needles. I mean, yes, I do give blood. I mean, I do get, blood drawn and everything to make sure my levels are good, make sure my iron and everything is great. But I do not like needles, and I do not trust myself to put a needle in me. And it's not worth it. I'm sorry. It's not worth it. Nope. I don't like kids. I can't do it. I don't have that spirit. I just don't. My elderly people, including my aunt, they have that passionate motherly figure instinct. I don't have it. I'm sorry. I love being a cool aunt. I love being a big sister. I love being able to be a voice or an advocate for children or teenagers or young adults, if whether it's on social media or in person. I'd rather be those things and protect my peace, honey. That's all I care about. It's hard out here for us millennials. It's hard out here, period, especially if you're an elderly. Having to get by, scraping by, going back and forth. It's too much. It's too much. So that's the update on my surgery. Yeah. It was great. I loved it. I'm glad I made this decision. I'm glad I prayed on it. I meditated on it. And I'm in a much better place. I don't have to worry about fears of pregnancy or being a single mom in a marriage or just a single mom period. I can't do it. I wouldn't I feel like I would unalive myself. I'm sorry for the sensitive word, but it's the truth. I can't do it. And I'd rather protect my peace and just take care of my family as much as I can without ever having to do an extra responsibility. I can't do what my mother did. She is such a Wonder Woman, knowing that she's not here anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I love you guys. That is the updates. I'll keep you posted on the changes of the cycle with having surgery. So I will keep you posted as well. I did see pictures of tubes being removed and only having a uterus and an ovary. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I just find that fascinating. I think it's pretty cool to see that and just the accomplishment and the monumentum. I think it's amazing. And yeah, I loved it. I just had a recent OB/GYN not that long ago, so I forgot to mention that. But I have another one again by the end of the year, around December. So, and I'll keep you posted on the cycle changes as well on social media. So make sure you guys are following me on Instagram and Facebook and Copies of Opinions, Lincoln page. Obviously, subscribe to Talk to Me Sister and the podcast as well. We're going to be heading into season 2 in June. Let me give you guys the exact date. Let me get that for you guys real quick. Season 2 is coming out. When is season 2 coming out? Season 2 for Talk to Me Sister is coming out June 5th. So June 5th, Talk to Me Sisters podcast is coming out for season 2. I will definitely put affiliate link of season 1 from the podcast. That way you guys can check it out during Memorial Day weekend and just the rest of May period. You guys can catch up on all of the episodes of pop cultural movies and shows and just regular pop culture of Hollywood period. I haven't done as much movies and shows lately from season 1. I'm gonna try to make up for that in season 2. So yeah, there you go. That is my story and my post update. So I love you guys. Let me know if you've gotten the surgery as well. How do you feel? And do you feel great? Do you feel nervous if you are getting it? Do you feel empowerment? Your body, your peace, and don't let no man tell you otherwise. So look out for some more sisterly advice. I know I'm a little bit behind. I'm gonna do my best before June 5th for season 2. But I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.